Hey YouTubers, Geoffrey Howells, carpet cleaning here. What I got today is I'm just doing a little bit of maintenance cleaning. In fact, that's probably the cleanest I've ever had that Rotovac. I've had it for about 10 years, and that looks pretty darn good. This is probably, you probably can't even find a used model this clean now. I don't know. But what I did is I went ahead and I invested in a power washing wand. This assembly was probably about 80 bucks once it was all pieced together. I did had to retrofit the end with a special piece just to make it fit onto that power washing equipment there. And then I just used a short, a couple of short lengths of hose there and run it. So when I clean off my equipment, hoses, whatever, this thing helps immensely with the cleaning process. I mean, literally, I took those wheels off the rotor cups and just hosed them off, sprayed them real quick, and then went ahead and did the same thing to the rest of the housing on there and completely cleaned up. I mean, look at all the crud that we just are knocking off of all of our equipment right now. So another thing, hoses, you guys, when it's raining, it's kind of raining right now, we're getting a little bit of April showers. They go through mud and dirt, and you don't want them in the customer's house. And there's so much you can do with just like a terry cloth rag, like wiping off the hose when you're putting it away. But the other day, it just started downpouring where I was currently working, and my hoses, all of them, pretty much got covered in mud. So I had to lay the hoses down on the driveway here. And this power washing wand came in extremely handy because I just power washed it off and then used the towels to kind of wipe them off as I'm rolling them back up into the van, and it worked very well. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're doing your pricing. Anything that you're doing out in the field, you can assume that you have twice that amount just in maintenance and upkeep. Back at your homestead or wherever your home base is set up at. I'm going through Kirby Vacuum, CRV, Rotovac. I'll take a look at my wand. I don't think there's any debris caught in it. But another thing that you can do that will actually help your suction quite a bit, airflow, is you get a 5-gallon bucket or larger. If you had a 20-gallon garbage can, that would be ideal, because with this I had to do it about 4 or 5 times. You fill it up with water and you just stick your hose in there and just let it suck it all up, because what it's doing is it's cleaning out your hose, it's cleaning out your blower, well, not your blower, but your inline inlets. It's cleaning out your waste tank, just that mass amount of just pure water. You're not sucking up any debris or anything, and you're knocking stuff loose that might be caked on the inside. Whenever I do it, I immediately notice a little bit of increase in suction. So that's something to do is with your maintenance, just to keep things cleaned up and working well. So with that said, I'm going to let you go, and you guys keep up the good work, and I'll see you another time. Alright, I'm just going to do a quickie as to how convenient and easy this power wand is. I got our truck set to about 1500 PSI. You can see all the nasty hair and everything in the brushes. Same with the CRV, you can see all the buildup that collects underneath it. I'm going to go ahead and power wash it, and I'll be right back and show you the results. Alright, you guys, I'm doing a little bit of CRV maintenance cleaning here. So yeah, I got our CRV laid down. I've taken the brushes out. What I got here is a power washing wand, retrofitted Home Depot. It's probably about 80 bucks by the time I got the connections for the hose on there. So I bet it pretty much dedicated about a 15-foot line specifically for this. I use it to power wash muddy hoses, equipment, and all that good stuff. I'm going to show you the brushes on the Rotovac. or not the Rotovac, but the CRV. I did use it to clean up the Rotovac, the little rotors in the bottom and the housing and everything, and I got it cleaner with this. Since I've been using this power washing wand, I've been able to get it cleaner than I have in 10 years. I mean, it literally looks like a used piece of equipment that you would pick up at the store now. Power wash this guy out because a lot of your debris gets caked in here and it's very stubborn. I mean, see, I don't know what these are, but I got them on both sides. I don't know if it's glue or what it was, but with a little bit of POG, I am being able to clean it up. And you got this bar here, and what this bar does is it's there just to catch things, as you know, basically to pull crud off of your brushes as they are rotating around. So you get a whole bunch of debris that just builds up right along that lip, gets very hard and crusty, and sometimes it doesn't come off. You got to clean it a few times. That's why I use the POG, because it helps to break down and emulsify a lot of that stuff. You can see that. And with the brushes we've got here, you know, it's really hard because you get debris that accumulates down deep in those brushes. However, with that power washing wand, I got it set to about 1500 psi in the driveway, and I'm able to get far more debris out of these brushes than I've ever been able to get out of them before without that wand. Another trick that you can do is just take these and get like a 5-gallon bucket of like water and some degreaser and let them soak in there, and that will help to loosen up some of the debris that's stuck in there. Another thing to keep a note, you guys probably have these metal rods. That's what goes down the center of these brushes and holds them into the CRB. You can see the little holes on the side there. One thing that I do is I make sure that I lube them up real good with WD-40 whenever I work on it. It just keeps things running and smooth, and it keeps those rods from getting stuck and having to use like a hammer and you know, something else to kind of like hit those rods out. What are those things called? Oh, you use them on door jams to pull the screws out of the hinge. I don't even remember what they're called. They're like a pin, like a little metal pin rod or something that I use in there to poke those things out. But anyways, there you go. Very easy. Just keep your stuff cleaned up, and it'll be great and ready for the next run.